like whenever I tell people like, this is Joey, it's my buddy. He went to Washington out in the wilderness. I gotta like tell them a little bit of backstory. They're gonna be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, of course.
Why the fuck is this guy asking him this stuff?
Of course, yeah.
So, to the audience out there, this is the interview section. The audience out there, this is my buddy Joey Papale.
Yep.
Yeah. We met when I was bartending here at another bar. It was the other bar at that point in time. Joey and I became really close, man. He just come in here. We would just shoot the shit about all kinds of weird stuff.
Always weird. Keep it weird.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about Joey is he's open to ideas. And I think he's open to ideas because of the traveling that he's done in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really one of the cool reasons I wanted to bring him in today is because his most recent journey that he went on is mind-boggling. Like, I know he's been to like the red light district. I've heard all these stories. We'll tell those some other time.
Green light, actually.
The green light district?
Yeah.
Was it both of them, right?
No, I've only been in the green light.
Is that in the same place?
Different place. Red light district is like Amsterdam. I've never been there before. But green light is in Christiania in Copenhagen, Denmark.
And explain because that was the first time I've heard it the other day when we were talking about it. So what is the green light district?
It's a loophole in the government where you could go to this place that it's like a quote unquote free land you could go to and buy marijuana.
Oh, so it's basically just they call it the green light because it's a marijuana district.
Yeah, they also have a brewery there as well.
So it's like Colorado for us, I guess.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. No, so Joey, he's done a lot of traveling. His most recent adventure was in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Mind-boggling that you went out in the woods away from society and tried to survive. Can you tell us?
Of course, yeah. So let's back up a bit here. I got invited there by this dude I met in Homer, Alaska, who was a halibut fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
I befriended him. I was really interested in this guy because he's just really weird, and he like claimed to be a pirate and a wizard. So I was like, you know what? I like this guy, and then we just became friends. We would, knock back a few beers here and there, and he would tell me about his day fishing and stuff. And
so he claimed to be a pirate and a wizard. Can you like go in a little more? Because this is how I got my girlfriend, actually. Like, he's not claiming to be a pirate and a wizard.
I wish that worked for me.
Dude, the first night I met her, I told her I was an alien, apparently. And she told me about this. She's like, you told me you were an alien. I was like, what the fuck? Why are you still with me? So a pirate and a wizard.
Yeah, so apparently he used to rob boats. Like he stole someone's boat. I can't mention where, out of confidentiality of this person.
This is a real thing, though.
This is a real thing.
Okay.
He got a boat and he robbed a bunch of other boats. So he stole a boat and then he would wait until everyone would dock their boats and then rob them.
So he really is a pirate.
He really is a pirate.
But what about the wizard part?
The wizard part, I am not sure. He claims to be, he's like, I am the most powerful being in the world, but I think that's just his ego speaking,
Right, yeah.
But it was really interesting. So I was like, you know what, this guy's cool. And anyway, I ran out of money in Alaska, so I was like, I'm gonna go back to work in Milwaukee where I usually do. Mm-hmm. And I got my money up, and I was like, I kind of don't know what's next for me. I'm kind of like, I want to go on an adventure again, even though I was just there like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. And he calls me up one day randomly. He's like, hey, I got an adventure for you. You're an adventurer. Like, you want to come along? I'm like, yeah, what's going on? He's like, my sister has this property in Washington State, like really close to the border of British Columbia in Canada. And he said, it's off the grid kind of living, and they kind of they want to start this community. And
so you went from back home in Milwaukee, to this reservation in Washington.
Yeah, so
it was this guy's sister's.
Yeah, so he calls me up and he's like, yeah, let's do this thing. My sister has 40 acres plus of property, yada, yada. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. So I meet him and these other people I've never met in my life. And I go camp with them for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And it's like near like the Eau Claire area in Wisconsin, which is like, I think like northwest, kind of close to Minnesota, like the Minnesota border, kind of. It's like an hour away or something like that. Not too sure on that. So don't quote me on that. But I came out there for like 2 weeks, and these guys are all like ex-convicts. There was like one dude on the run, and probably people I shouldn't have hang out with, you know?
Yeah.
And like in my brain, it's like, yeah, you know, maybe you shouldn't hang out with these people. Some of them are kind of cutthroat, but then I'm just like, hey, you know what? Fuck you, brain. You know, I'm not going to listen to you because I'm an artist, and this, like, I look at things in an artist perspective. So it's like, I'm going to look at this. I want to study these people and maybe write about them.
Right. Well, I mean, those people are literally just people. Like they may have done something in this world that the world says, you know, this is bad. No.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, at the same time, they're the same as you and I.
Exactly.
Like, regardless if they have felon in front of their name or not, like they're the same as you and me.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's awesome that you went and hung out with these people. Did you? And those are the same people that you lived with in Washington?
Yeah. Some of them ended up leaving the mountains because they couldn't handle the weather and all that. Mm-hmm. But this one guy, he claimed to be a cat. He had 3 cats of his own that ended up having kittens.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy, he was an angry hippie, which I've never met in my life.
Right.
You know, you think about hippie, you're like, oh, they're peace and love and this and that. This guy was always angry, and when he drank, he wanted to fight everybody.
Oh yeah,
it didn't matter if you were a friend, he didn't care. He wanted to fight everybody.
Did he smoke weed?
Yeah, he did.
And he was still angry.
Still angry.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what strain he was smoking, but he was always angry, right? And I'm just like, why is he angry? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But he actually gave me this necklace, by the way.
I love that necklace. It's a nice little crystal with what is that, copper wrapped around it?
Yeah, copper wire. It's amethyst crystal.
Yeah, so I mean, at least he knows
his mom made it though, so.
So what, did he have one too, or he just gave you that one?
He got a bunch of them from his mom, and he gave them to the people on the mountain.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell him to send me one. You still have his number?
I have his Facebook Messenger thing. He doesn't really have a phone. Yeah. He's living off grid too.
I love that.
He's still up there, I think. I think he's leaving soon, but.
So this was the area that you were at when you were doing this, or was something different?
This is the same thing.
Same thing? Okay.
Yeah, but all right, let me back up again.
Okay.
Before we get to the mountain, I'm going to describe these people to you. So there's Catman, right? There's the pirate wizard guy, the Catman, the angry hippie, and there's this one guy I could barely fucking understand. He talked like this. He never moved his mouth. He had his tongue just doing the talking, and you couldn't understand a word he fucking said. Mm-hmm. But he was very friendly. Too friendly to the point where he was kind of like the bitch of their crew.
Okay.
And if they told him, you know, like, hey, do this or build this or go make me money, he would do that. Mm-hmm. And how they made their money was they never went to work. They would go and panhandle in anywhere that they would go. And while I was on the road with them, this guy would go out there and panhandle money, and he would either get us gas for free. They called it jugging. Mm-hmm. Or he would fly a sign. They called it a sign flying. You know, people out there with the signs like, you know, I could use your help kind of thing. But his was more like he wrote a sign that said smile and had a peace sign and a hearts on it and stuff. And he would just shoot the peace sign out, and people gave him money. So I guess that's kind of a cool, you know, idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't do it, but.
Well, it's better than just saying, hey, will you give me money? Like, you're actually spreading joy into the world.
Right. And that was his idea. Mm-hmm. But at a point in his life, he told me that he worked at McDonald's for like the longest time. Mm-hmm. And 90% of his paycheck would go to that crew. And I was like, are you okay with doing that? Like, that's what you want to do, is give money, like your hard-earned money, to other people? And he said, he said, yeah. But I think that maybe he was threatened or something, because he felt the need that he, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe he felt like he was an important asset, so that way he could get to the next area of travel or wherever he wanted in life. Apparently they like brainwashed this guy. Like, it's kind of a shame, but
yeah, like, why hang out with these 3 goons when he could just literally leave?
Exactly.
If they send him out to get money, he could just not come back.
Yes. Yeah. And I kind of explained that to him, like, because I had a private conversation with him, because he rode with me. At the time I had my 1986 Toyota 4Runner, mm-hmm. and it was only 2 persons, so the driver and a passenger. So he would be my passenger. He was an excellent DJ. You know, I never had to use my phone or anything. I never had to fiddle with the radio, whatever. He would do it. He would hand me snacks. Like, this guy was great. And or he'd be like, "Oh man, you missed your turn." And I'll be like, "Oh fuck," and you got to turn around or whatever. But so he was kind of like my buddy from Wisconsin to Washington, and then the other people went in a bus. Like, they had like a school bus that could only do up to 45 miles per hour.
Oh wow!
And so I got ahead of them.
Yeah.
My truck could only do like 50 miles per hour uphill, but the rest of the way was like a steady 75.
Right.
Because it's an older vehicle.
You were like a day ahead of them or something like that.
I was like a couple hours ahead of them, but I would just like wait at a gas station. The dude in my passenger seat would go around to get the free gas, So I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, I don't feel right about it in a way, but at the same time, what? Fuck the system,
Yeah.
Especially now where gas is like, what is it here? Like 4 something?
Yeah, but it's like $7 in California. My buddy sent me he keeps me updated for some reason.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I bet he's kind of busting your balls about it, right? Because it's like $3 less here.
Yeah. But he knows how expensive California is. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of a joke to him. But I mean, I think what you're talking about right now is mind boggling. Like, most people can't even. Wait, like what you said, I ran out of money. I had to go home and get my money right. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the way this game should be played. This game of life.
Yeah, of course.
You should be rolling the dice, like going on adventures, like meeting people, spend all your fucking money, then go make some more money. Like, everyone, like they're trying. People they can't live on the edge anymore. Like, they need like this stability, and they need like the assuredness of like tomorrow is going to be here. It's like, you never know.
Right.
Tomorrow you might not wake up.
Exactly.
So fucking go on adventures. I love it.
Exactly.
So you traveled to Washington with these guys.
Mm-hmm. And 3 cats.
Okay.
And the cat man. He counts himself as a cat.
Were yours, you had animals too, didn't you, right?
I didn't until I got to the property.
Okay.
But so we went through Minnesota. Well, the rest of Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, and then Idaho.
Is that all along the way, or is that like a trip?
We just went straight through. We were trying to beat all the storms. Like, everywhere we went, there was an upcoming snowstorm on the way. So we were like, kind of like, we wanted to see stuff, especially me, because I've never been to those areas before. And I was like, man, I really want to like see this and that. And I did end up stopping in North Dakota at Theodore Roosevelt National Park, the northern and south part of it. There's like 2 different parts, and they're like 66 miles or so, give or take, between the 2 of them. And I went to both of them. And actually, I saw bison in person, so that was pretty cool.
What?
I'll show you a picture later.
Yeah, those things are huge, aren't they?
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah.
But I feel like wild animals look like AI. They're like artificial intelligence. There's like little people inside them controlling it or some shit. Right. But anyway, before I get off track, so I got there, and right when I got there, we're like meeting his sister and her boyfriend at this parking lot in the middle of freaking nowhere. And we still had like another 45 minutes or so to go to get to the top of this mountain where the property was. And his sister arrives, and she opens up the back of the bus. We're chilling on the back of the bus, smoking weed, naturally, right?
Right.
And she opens up the back of the bus, and all this light comes in because it's dark as hell on the bus. And I just like look out like, whoa, and I can't see anything. And she starts firing off a BB gun right away. And she just hitting her brother with it. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? Holy shit. And she was like, she says to him, and she goes, I owed you that, bitch. I was like, oh man, I'm going to have some fun, Yeah. And we get off the bus, and there's like this big one of those, I'm not going to be politically correct here, but they call it the gypsy wagon. And it's like this longer wagon with like the canvas style kind of cover over top.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like one of the old school, like should have been in like the Oregon Trail kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. And they had like goats and stuff in the back of there. I was like, oh, cool, nice, And they were like, all right, follow us. So we go, and I'm following them, and the bus is behind me. I'm kind of like making sure they're following us. And then we get up to the top of the mountain and all that. And I ended up staying there for like 2.5 months. And I left there though because it got super cold. I was living outside. I did switch to my truck after a while because I was just living in a tent with a tarp over the top.
Mhm.
But it made no difference because I had zero heat in my truck.
Right.
So it was like I was still wrapping myself up. I was still pretty freaking cold. And
How were they surviving?
they all had their own kind of area. I was trying to work on my own little structure, but I kept failing. You know, it was about failures, you know, and learning and discipline. And I felt like I wanted that at the time.
Right.
And I like to make my life a story. You know, I want to have it for myself though. It's not for anybody else. You know, I want to, it's like you were saying earlier, you only got one life and shit. And I wanted to have that experience.
Right.
And it's all artist perspective too, right? You're an artist as well. So you know that in your mind, you're like, oh, you know, I could do this or I want to do this. But my thing is if I say something, I'm usually going to do it.
Right.
I don't want to be just a talker. I want to be a walker as well.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of people that they always talk about wanting to travel and stuff.
For sure.
That's all they do is talk.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like just get on a fucking plane and go.
But I think that's fear, right? Because everyone's comfortable in their little box. You know, they never want to open up the box because they're like, they don't know that there's a lid at the top of the box. Or maybe they feel like there's tape over it. But this whole time they could just open that box up top and be like, oh shit, there's all this other stuff outside the box. And they never even knew, or probably will never know because they never opened up the box.
Right. Yeah. They're all scared of it. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that's everything in this life though, man. The more that I learn, the more I realize how much there is to learn.
Of course. Yeah.
Like there's no way that I'm ever going to like be able to get a full understanding of this life.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense how much shit there is on this fucking planet.
Of course. Oh man, yeah. So none of it makes sense, right? We're just on this floating rock in the middle of nothingness, and we're not sure what, you know, if there's an afterlife, there might be nothingness or there might be more of something. Who the heck knows?
Yeah.
But all we know is that we're doing this thing. There's no blueprint to it. You know, no one can tell you how to live your life.
No, and then so many people. That's why I was thinking about this last night. Like I have a thread going with all my buddies from high school stuff in it. And every now and then they ask me like, you know, when are you gonna settle down and have this family and stuff? And I was thinking about it last night. I was like, if this is like a video game, like, and I look at their lives, I see them doing the main story quest, and like it just doesn't look that fun to me. So I'm gonna go my own path. I'm gonna play the game my own way.
Of course,
and that's kind of what I'm doing with this bar. Is like, it's just a platform for me to work with cool and interesting people and meet people like you and like hear your stories. Because I mean, back in Arkansas, yeah, it's great for raising a child and settling down and living and having a family, but it's not living, in my opinion.
Right.
Living is doing what you're doing. Living is going on adventures. It's you know, coming up with these new experiences. And I think that's where the artist perspective comes in for you, because you're actually working on a book too, where you're writing some of this stuff down. Right. So where those other people that are sailing down and having a family and stuff, they can actually read your book and they can go on an adventure with you in their mind.
That's what I'm hoping for, to at least inspire someone.
Yeah.
You know, maybe to live differently, you know, because to let them know that they are truly free, or at least if they can't do it, because I know a lot of people can't. If they can't do it, then at least take them somewhere else, like you said. So
mentally,
for sure.
Yeah. So what was the hardest thing you experienced in Washington whenever you reached the mountaintop? Was it the cold, I guess?
Pretty much the cold. Definitely like, yeah. So they all kept warm. They all had their own wood stoves, and I kind of just made my own fires, or I would share a fire before I went to bed, and then I would just run from that fire, like to like keep the blood flow going. And it would just be like a physical thing too. Like I made sure I kept in shape up there too. And so I would run So I'll get my exercise. I would still stay warm. I felt like that, like the fire heat was still on my body. So I ran with it as fast as I could.
Mhm.
And then I would go to wherever I was sleeping and then just wrap myself up in a bunch of blankets and shit and then go to sleep and I'd be fine. But in the morning was worse because it was like my feet were kind of numb. And so if it was really cold, I would just have to like, make a fire. And I just felt like I felt like it was difficult the most to keep my feet warm. Everything else I could keep warm. It was weird. Like no matter how many socks I put on,
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Like if you're like on the verge of like hypothermia, all the blood starts going from your extremities to your organs. So I mean, if you were that
Right.
cold up there, then that's probably what was going on. Is like the blood was leaving your hands and your feet and going to your organs to keep you alive.
Right. But yeah, it was really cool up there. I learned a lot. I never really split wood before that. But man, I became a pro really fast.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, when you put in those survival situations, you either learn
Right.
or you die.
And the weirdest thing is, it was my favorite pastime was to split wood. Like we would all go get giant logs from the valley, climb up this big ass mountain, and then go and take them, chainsaw them in half, and then split them with the wood axe. But I was like, made me feel good. And I found out that it actually is a testosterone booster.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the? Do you know anything else about that?
Not really. I just know that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it probably made you feel good too because you're getting a dopamine hit because your body's like, oh, good job, we need fire,
Right. Yeah.
That's very interesting whenever you start breaking those kinds of things down. Like there was one in the survival situation. I mean, there was a story that I heard a while back. But what I was saying before the gentleman came to with our beer fridge is that there was this girl that was stranded at sea and she was living on a raft. And on this raft, she at first started eating, she was able to catch fish. She was eating all these fish and she was just eating the meat. But as the time went on, her body started craving the organ meat. Most people think the organ meat's disgusting, but it actually holds a lot of the minerals and nutrients that the body needs.
I agree. Yeah.
So as time went on, her body, she started developing higher sensitivity in her body and she was able to sniff these organs out and stuff. And I think that those survival situations, they actually bring more out of the human body than what we're normally used to using.
Right. Well, your body always knows what it needs, right? If you're super fucking exhausted, you're going to want to rest. If you're hungry, you're going to want to eat, et cetera, et cetera. So it's natural to want to do that.
Yeah. And then if you're used to eating all this crap that we have like in modern society,
right?
Like you're basically putting calories in your body, but you're not actually putting the minerals and nutrients back into it.
Of
So
course.
it's got to be really cool whenever you're out there in nature like that. Just kind of get back to your roots.
So I didn't get to go hunting or anything, unfortunately, but I did a little bit of gathering. I learned about a few berries and plants and stuff that you could eat naturally. You don't have to like cook them or whatever. Totally safe to eat. And so I collected some of them. I actually wrote down a couple that were up on that mountain. If I could find it here real quick.
This is in Washington.
This is in Washington, yes.
People in Washington, if you're listening, these are the foods you can eat.
Just a few berries. So let me see, because I got a ton of shit in here. Okay, here it is. You could eat rose hips. I wrote like little notes on them, like they're red in color, edible, sweet in taste, a lot of seeds in them, and they usually bloom into roses, hence rose hip. And the best harvest season is November, from what I have written down anyway. I don't know if that's 100% true, but this is my experience. June berries, they're purplish blue in color. They're edible and harvested year round. They taste the best in June and July, so I was told. And there's these things called dogwood berries. They're white in color, edible, harvest season. Not sure the harvest season on that. They're bitter, but they have plenty of nutrients. So they taste like shit, but they're good for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think when you're in the survival situation too, taste really doesn't matter that much.
Exactly, yeah.
So are there berries that look like those, but are actually bad for you? They tell you any of this, or they just like go eat the purple ones?
No, so there are some, but there's a way you could taste a berry to see if it's poisonous before you fully eat it.
How do you do this?
So you chew on it, and if it tastes not like, if it tastes like shit,
So basically your body's telling you.
Yeah.
It's one of those sense things again.
Yeah.
If you're like sensitive enough to actually be able to, you can taste the bad berries.
Right.
Yeah, the body's wild, dude. The fact that you can eat a berry or a taste of it and it'll be like, nope.
Yeah, and then obviously you don't swallow it, and then that's it.
Right.
The three I mentioned, the rosehip, June berries, and dogwood berries. If you mix them together, you can make them into tea. You know, you boil them in hot water and make a little tea out of it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And also stinging nettle too. If you heard of that one.
Sounds familiar.
So you need like special gloves or whatever to pick them up, or take them. Yeah, or you get stung. But they're actually healthy for you. They're very beneficial, and you could also boil them in water and then put a towel or something over your head and inhale the kind of like fumes or whatever you want to call it from it, and the aroma of it, and it clears out your sinuses, and it's supposed to feel good when you're breathing it in, and it's
dude.
You could drink it too. So
one of the fascinating things that I've come to realize about like medicine and stuff, and everyone, whenever you hear this, you hear me say this, you're gonna be like, oh, that's common sense. No one thinks about it like this. All the medicines that we have nowadays are literally just refinements of the plants and berries that are out there in the woods.
Right.
Like
exactly.
Most people go grab a pill of ibuprofen or something, they take it and they're like, oh, this is medicine. It's like, well, that literally came from a plant that's on this planet.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's, I don't know if that's not might not be a fact either. That's just me making an example, but I'm saying most medicines do come from plants and things that we found in the environment. So, I mean, if you're out there,
exactly.
you can literally find your own medicines.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what these things are.
Right. You just have to, study it first, and obviously make sure you go with someone who knows what the hell they're talking about.
Fuck it. Just go eat berries.
Yeah.
All of them.
Be like that guy into the wild and just eat.
Just boof them up your ass. Boof berries.
Could do that. I mean,
that's like wine, right?
It gets to the blood faster, right? If you
boof wine.
If you do something anally, right?
And the entirement of this podcast is just go boof something.
Yeah, do it. Just do it.
And if you don't know what boofing is, Google it.
Live life, take chances.
So, Joey, what's next for you?
What's next for me? I am going back to Alaska because that seems to be my favorite place. I've been everywhere in the world, I feel like. Mm-hmm. Now I'm like a dollar bill, right? Mm-hmm. Or girls call me currency, because I've been all around the world, and I've been saved, earned, and spent.
Okay.
So
Alaska is like where you're gonna end up.
Yeah, I feel like Alaska is a really good place for me, and I'm gonna be learning a lot more new skills and hone the ones I have. I'm gonna kind of be like the handyman / everything guy.
Are you going? You said you were going to study your captain's license and stuff. And
yeah, that's the goal. The goal is to get plenty of maritime.
Is this with the pirate guy?
No.
Okay,
you
should learn from him.
No, not at all.
He seems like he's got it going on.
I'm trying to stay out of trouble.
Okay.
I'm only getting in good trouble.
Right.
Not trouble that ended me up in jail and shit. So.
So going to Alaska, you're gonna start doing some fishing up there.
A little bit, yeah, but that's more recreational. I'm not going to get paid for it.
Okay.
The stuff I'm going to get paid for is just like handyman, everything, jack of all trades type of deal.
Right.
I'm going to learn a lot more stuff and improve the skills that I already have, like hone my skills, learn new skills, and then eventually get my captain's license. So that way I could hopefully be my own boss. I don't have to work for anybody else.
Okay,
I'll be able to take people out fishing, or if they want to go kayaking, I'll take them to set coordination or whatever, hiking, this and that.
It's a fun job.
Yeah. And then when the world completely goes to shit, I could just sail away out by myself. I'll have my own dog. I could go fishing every day and just eat fish tacos every day.
Yeah.
That's it.
Especially if you learn how to sail with the wind. You need gas for that.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. Yeah.
Do you ever plan on going back into the wild again?
I do, yes. But I would like to learn a lot more.
Right.
And, definitely improve on hunting and gathering for sure. And that's why I want to do this fishing stuff too. So, because that's another form of survival.
Oh, yeah.
And boating and stuff like that. That's all for me. I'm learning everything for survival, for myself. I want to be able to get to a point in my life where I'm 100% 20% self-reliant to where I don't even have to go to a grocery store anymore.
Right. Yeah, more people should strive for that, I think.
Right.
Even if it's growing food too.
Right.
I think I think if you develop the fishing skills for sure, man, you get in the right river. You know, you got trout coming up that are going to spawn.
Mm-hmm.
And after you catch the trout and you get strong enough from that, you can kill a bear. You can wear the bear hide for you know.
That'd be kind of cool, yeah. Just walk around kind of like a Viking with a bear head or something.
But dude, and you find the right bear that has some cubs with it. You kill the bear, take the hide, and then you have 2 baby bears that you can train to be your lap dogs.
Yeah, they'll think that I'm like their papa or mama bear, and then
then
I'll get them to do stuff for me, like go get them.
We would call you King Joey after that. Like you come back wearing a fucking bear skin and with 2 bears beside you, they're your
pet bears. Have them on a leash or bring them to the bar.
Yeah, you're like, eat this fucking.
They drink beer. I mean, they drink beer. They drink beer. The bears drink beer.
You're like, eat these fucking berries.
Yeah, eat these fucking berries.
Yes, sir, Joey. Yes, sir, Joey. Well, dude, I wish you great luck on all your adventures, and I hope that you know, you keep writing them down so that, you know, we can all live vicariously through you.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is Joey Papale, everyone. Love you, dude.
Love you too.